guys, Jenifer here, and I wanted to share with you some ornaments that I created with the Cakes and Snowflakes Kit from OohLaLa Vintage Treasures. I made a ton of ornaments and I wanted to share these with you. I realized after starting this video that I didn't put some hangers on a few of them. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, for the majority I did create the hangers for them. So I created some of these dangle ones. They're super cute. I really like these. They are just so, these were like, I think my favorite to create with. I made several of these in different, using different materials. So on this one, you can see that I used some of the flowers that she had, the vintage flowers. I took one of these snowflake, it's like a snowflake border that she had, and I just cut it and then I added my own glitter to it so it would be a little bit stiffer, and then a little flower on there. And then here's one of the applique pieces she had. And I used the dangle trim, that really long dangle trim, and I cut it in half, each little piece, to fill in where it didn't cover. So I have a piece going through each little recessed area there, and I think it turned out really cute because it's so shabby and dangly, and I really like that. And then this one was an older piece of dangle trim that was in a previous kit, and I can't remember exactly which one, but it was so pretty. And I added these little elements that she had, and that way I did on either side of the where there's a flower, so that any way it's dangling you can see a little something extra. And then I added this pearl trim that she included. I cut it and made it the same length as that, and so I have 4 pieces. So I thought that was cute to see dangling from the ornament as well. And then this one, I used the trim that she had in the kit, and I made my own dangle trim because, you know, I had to stretch the dangle, and I didn't have a whole lot of dangle pieces. So yeah, I kind of incorporated my own, and I used again that really long, like 11 or 12 inch dangle trim she had. I cut pieces of it and added it in between these pieces of lace here. And then on the front I added a snowflake, this little pom-pom trim, and then this furry trim that she had. Now this furry trim, if you still have this kit, you can separate this into 4 pieces. So it's 4 separate pieces wrapped around, and it makes a really thick piece. Well, because I separated mine, I was able to stretch mine a long ways. So just in case you might not have thought of that. And then I have another one. This is the one I didn't put the topper on, or to hang it from, but that's okay, I can add that. I added some pom-pom trim, and then this trim from another OohLaLa kit, a piece of a doily here, and a flower that I added some sparkly to, and some glitter I should say. And then on this one I took that lace and I added a little rose at the bottom of each of the dangles, and then I added some more of the really long dangle trim that I cut in between there. So I have a really cute little dangly ornament there. So that's how I decorated my 4 little ornaments there. And then I have this ornament, which this is made from that little chenille trim. Okay, so this is loopy chenille, vintage chenille, let me just tell you, that Doreen found with, it has a wire in it. So I shaped it into a little round wreath, and then I added some of this sparkly picks from like the wintry picks, and then I made a little bow, and I added these white roses, which was from an older kit. And then this one was from this kit, and a little flower there. So it's a very simple ornament, and I used the pearl trim that she included in the kit, and I used it to make a hanger for the ornament. So that's another ornament that I made. And then of course you guys saw this one, which I did not make a hanger for, but this was the one that I did a tutorial on. Just a very simple one to get you started, get you motivated. And then this one is so cute. I decided, okay, so this one, I used the image that she had in the kit. And believe it or not, this round thing here is my score tape holder. So see this, after you finish your score tape, you have this little cardboard piece inside. And I thought, I'm going to make an ornament from that. And that's what I did. So I made a pink ornament, painted it pink. Then I added some of this trim that she included. I put the white doily on the back. And I had added this image, and then I cut, so these two pieces are from the same image, and I just cut the cake out. So you can see I added some shaker bits to that. These beautiful trims here are from a lace goodie bag that I had gotten from Doreen, and I thought, oh my gosh, that looks so perfect. It matches the cake perfectly, and so I added that. Here's my hanging element, and then my I made another one of these poinsettias that have all that sparkle on it. So that's my little shaker ornament. Isn't that adorable? So yeah, I kind of made a shabby shaker ornament. I thought that was really cute. And then here is some more of that chenille loopy trim. This time I made it into a heart. And then I made it like a vintage looking ornament. I used this really pretty flocked velvet. It was a piece of ribbon or trim that she had included, and it was a vintage. So I made a bow, and I was laughing with Doreen because I told her that I made this bow probably like 15 times because I didn't want to waste like a millimeter of this fabric. It was so vintage pretty. Oh my gosh, I just love it. So I added, there's an applique here that she included, all these little bits. Look at these little flowers that she had in the bouquet, this little sparkle piece that she included, this rose, and that vintage flower piece. Two little snowflakes here. This is a pearl flat back. She had a flower and a little bits and pieces of applique trim there. And I made this little, just, you know, no rhyme or reason really, just wanted to add a vintage one, and then I used that pearl trim as my hanger there. And then this one is really pretty, and didn't make a hanger for this one, which I still can. But that was that snowflake that she had. It was a styrofoam one. And on the back, I added this little piece over the doily to kind of finish that off, so if it turns on my tree you can see that. And I added lots of layers. Originally this top part here was my ornament, but when I laid it on top of the snowflake that I used this pearl paint with, it just went perfectly. So I wanted to show you that I used that muslin fabric to make this, and pieces of doily, several layers of doilies under here. So there's several layers, and I even took apart one of the doily to get this star piece out. And then I made another poinsettia there, and I added some lace and crinkled seam binding to the bottom there. So that turned out really cute. Love that one. And this one, oops, I made these angel wings here. This was in the kit, and what I used on here were just several bits of doilies, the tiny little doilies, and I layered tons of them on there. And then this piece back here was actually a doily that I cut in half and I put on both sides. So that was white. I wanted it to be white, cream, and tan. And then this was a piece of Venice lace that she had in the kit, and I just cut a little piece off and added a bit of sparkle to the bottom. This was a flower that I had in my stash, and these were all the little bits and pieces that she included. I even added some snowflake paste to kind of give it some texture all over the ornament there. And last but not least, I created this one, which looks very similar to what Violet did because it was so pretty. I had to mimic that. And so I used this snowflake, I think it's the vinyl snowflake she had. I added some clear glitter glass to the snowflake. I added this tan doily and then this beautiful, just, it looks like white mistletoe kind of together to me, and I'm going to use the bow at the top to hang it. I just thought that was just beautiful. I didn't want to take it apart. It was stunning just the way it was. So anyway, guys, these are my ornaments. I wanted to show you them before I put them all away for next year. Can you believe it? I'm so bummed that Christmas is over, but hey, you know, it'll come around before you know it. So I hope this inspires you. You know, obviously you can look at these all year, really, because they're really not that Christmassy because they're so shabby or vintage. But anyway, I hope you like it, guys, and I'm looking forward to my next project. I've got my Tussie Mussy coming up, so stay tuned, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.